In tonight's Business Insider, an outlook for the U.S. housing market in 2016. The Commerce Department reports housing starts fell 11% in October due to a sharp plunge in apartment construction. That slowdown comes after a steady year of gains. For insight and analysis, I'm joined by Dr. Lisa Sturtevant, Director of the Center for Housing Policy at the National Housing Conference. Lisa, let's start with those new numbers. Explain housing starts, and is that 11% decline cause for concern?
Yeah, these housing start numbers are really important. People that pay a lot of attention to them. They're a measure of actual construction activity on homes. And as you said, that number was off this month for the first time in a long time, indicating that there were fewer homes actually under construction in October than economists actually had predicted. Now, I think that we'll find that this ends up being a blip. And one reason that we think that is because when you look at another indicator that came out today, building permits, that number's up. And building permits are a measure of the permits that builders have pulled in order to plan for new construction. So it's an indication of future construction.
Exactly.
And that number's up.
That is always good news. All right, meanwhile, housing starts have actually climbed a steady 10% in the past year. That's due in large part to solid hiring levels and improved consumer confidence. Put all of this into context for us. What's going on here?
Yeah, so that's why I really think that this housing starts decline in October is really a blip, because we have seen the first 10 months of the year, we saw increases in new home construction. And the reasons are because those fundamentals really have improved. Job growth is up, consumer confidence is up, wages are starting to increase, people are starting to feel more confident about their own personal economic situations. There's starting to be less uncertainty about the mortgage market, and so that's all good news in terms of new homes construction.
Now, according to the Wall Street Journal, some builders are concerned about a future labor shortage. They don't have enough carpenters, tile setters, and electricians to keep up with demand. How will that impact the housing market, Lisa?
Yeah, I think this is one of those really interesting trends that we haven't really been paying attention to until now. But what happened during the housing downturn is that people who were working in the skilled construction trades found other work. They went into other industries. And people who maybe have been deciding about what kind of education to get decided not to go into those trades. So we're sort of a half-decade short of the types of folks working in skilled labor that we need. Now, wages will rise and people will be attracted back into the industry, but it's going to take time to train them up.
It's a very good point. Now, you're also following new information from Harvard's Joint Center for Housing Studies. They looked at the impact of student loan debt on housing decisions. What did they find?
Yeah, so I think when we're talking about the housing market and the full recovery of the housing market, understanding the potential for first-time home buyers in the market is so important. And this new research has shown that student debt levels among young renters is up. 1 out of 5 young renters has student loan debt. A third of those with debt have debt of over $25,000, and this is making a real big impact on their financial decisions and making it really difficult for them to become homeowners. And at the same time, this is a group facing rising rents, and so it's increasingly difficult to save for a down payment. So this rising debt coupled with rising rents has made it really hard for this group to become first-time home buyers.
Now, even though, as you said, building permits are up, the housing market still hasn't recovered from the recession. Look into your crystal ball for us. Will that finally happen in 2016, Lisa?
Well, it's interesting. It depends on where you look. You know, here where we are in the Washington, D.C. area, the market has fully recovered from the downturn. And that's true in places like San Francisco, Boston, New York, places where there's been really robust job growth. And the challenge actually to their markets is affordability. So slowdowns may occur in 2016 as people find prices increasingly out of reach, particularly among those first-time home buyers, and sales activity might slow. For the markets that are still recovering, as long as job growth remains sustainable, then those markets should recover in 2016.
You know, we always see these articles in Money Magazine and other magazines that talk about the best places to live, the most expensive, the cheapest places to live. Is there any one region of the country that's lagging behind the rest of us?
Yeah, there's some places, metropolitan areas in the Midwest were particularly hard hit by the economic downturn, and these are places, Detroit most notably, where industry has really taken a hit and is still struggling to recover. But other places like Cleveland, like Cincinnati, these are places that have a manufacturing economy that were the most hard hit by the downturn and really are taking the longest to recover, both economically and in terms of the housing market.
It's always good to get your insight. Dr. Lisa Sturtevant, thank you.
Thank you.